All right.
All right, I'm in a Windows machine, just opened up Explorer. Now I'll type in apps anywhere into the bar as the URL to appsanywhere.coc.edu. Then I'll hit enter. Apps Anywhere is now loading from the College of Charleston onto my browser in a Windows environment.
And you're using a Mac at the moment, right? Or a Linux machine?
I'm using Windows operating system right now. It happens to be running through Parallels on a Mac.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah. So now Apps Anywhere loaded, and this is after you've done this, installed Apps Anywhere and getting through the pain of getting it to run. This is how it comes up from now on. It makes it quite easy just to scroll through the apps as it's loading the thumbnails here down to GMetrix. There it is, GMetrix Excel. I thought there were 2 GMetrix out there, but I'm only seeing the Excel one at the moment, which is the only one we need. So GMetrix Excel, we hit launch with that one. Launch, you have to do 2 things. Before we can launch GMetrix, the first thing you have to do is launch Excel 2019 on this computer locally.
Okay.
So I'm and 2019, of course, is part of Apps Anywhere, so I don't have to install it on my Windows machine. I can just launch it, and it runs on my Windows machine as if I have installed it. Every time you see this little window, you click yes. So now it's launching Apps Anywhere so that it can launch Excel 2019. That's the step. That's the first step to getting to GMetrix. And then it says, yeah, all right, we got 2019 running for Excel. There it is. I'm just going to minimize it. And now I'm going to launch the GMetrix app that I was intending to launch to start with before I got sidetracked to have to launch Excel 2019. So I'm launching GMetrix now. Remember, this little window pops up. You click yes. There's Apps Anywhere launching GMetrix now. GMetrix is going to be looking for the Excel 2019 in a moment. And so now I have to use my credentials, my login and my password for GMetrix. If I didn't have an account, I'd have to sign up now.
Okay.
Now GMetrix is running, and I can, if I haven't redeemed my code yet, I have to click the redeem button, type in the redeem code from Chen Chow, and hit redeem. But I've already done that once, so I can start a new test. I get to pick Office 2019, Excel in Office 2019. And then now I can see that there are 2 practice exams, number 1 and number 2. Unlike Excel 2016 GMetrix, there's only 2 exams here, not 3. And in 16, for Excel 16, GMetrix called them practice tests, not exams. I know it's just a different word but for the exact same thing, but I'm using that new vocabulary now in what I talk to students about and how I put it onto OAKS. I talk about practice exam 1, practice exam 2 for 2019.
And just to make sure I'm on the same page with you, GMetrix version 6, not the beta version 7, and Excel 2019. Those are the 2 versions that the students will be working from, right?
Yeah, remember, the students won't, unless they're downloading GMetrix natively into their Windows box and launching it from their Windows box, they won't need to know which version of GMetrix they're using because Anywhere takes care of that already behind the scenes.
Okay, gotcha. So the version I downloaded onto my machine. I'm running Windows.
Right, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm still in Apps Anywhere. I'm in GMetrix through Apps Anywhere. And so now I'm going to do practice exam 1 in training mode. So I click on training mode and everything is just normal here. It appears you're requesting your application is currently running. Remember, I did have an Excel 19 running and I minimized it.
Yes.
It doesn't like that.
Okay.
So I'm going to just hit continue so that GMetrix can now take over that running thread of 2019 Excel.
Okay.
And so now I've got 7 projects and the same, tasks are showing up here. I'll get through all the projects, grade it, save it, whatever. Are you familiar with this part?
I am not. I had some questions about that as well.
Let's just go ahead and while we're here and just kind of drill down. So with you see I've got a banner at the bottom here. This is the GMetrix controller window, and then we've got Excel running live here in the top.
Okay.
Okay. Each project of these 2 there's 7 projects in each of the 2 exams, 1 and 2. Each project has a number of tasks. This one has 5. I don't remember if they all have 5. I think some have 4. But that's okay. So we could click overview and see, this is the overview. We can click onto task 1. It tells you what to do. Like for example, import the comma delimited file, whatever, located in the templates folder. This templates folder through Apps Anywhere is already accessible. And if you download GMetrix to your Windows box directly, you've got to remember to download the GMetrix templates folder into your, I don't know, documents folder or whatever.
Yeah. That's where I stopped on Wednesday. Tried again last night. I couldn't find where that folder is. So
no,
the data version on your desktop downloaded as an executable program doesn't sound like the way to go. It sounds like using it virtually is the best option.
If possible, I think there are fewer hiccups if you can get the Apps Anywhere to launch for the first time.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And
okay.
so let's see if I don't know how to see importing a file. If I don't know how to do that, I can hit the help button and I can scroll and it tells me exactly what to do. So the students can sit here and go, oh, okay, I see how to do that. Let me take each step in turn.
Okay.
And so help, you can turn on and off. When they take this exam in testing mode, they will not have this help feature.
Okay, gotcha.
The clock is running here, but it doesn't matter because this is not a timed event since I'm in practice mode. I can try to do this, import the comma delimited file in the folder. So insert on, there we go, no, data, there we go, from CSV, data tab, CSV, compatibility warning, whatever.
It's asking you to put that in a new tab. So you'd hit plus and then do this, right?
No. Oh, what is the import comma file located into a new worksheet? Oh, I can do that while I'm importing it though. Watch. Forms CSV. Open up the little folder. There's the file. I click on the file, hit import, and then it'll ask me, where do you want to import it? I thought it wanted to do that. I can't see the whole thing, so I'm going to have to scroll in my window here. Or no, I moved this box up. That's what I need to do. There we go. So I load it to a table, a new worksheet. There it is. See right there? It's automatically defaulted to a new worksheet. So there it goes. Boom.
And the tasks are 1 through 5.
Yeah.
This entire project where it's showing 1 of 7, that corresponds to our syllabus or our weekly schedule sheet where, let's say for this week, GMetrix Core Excel 1, that's getting through project number 1 here, right?
No, it's getting through all 7 of them.
All 7 projects.
Right. Because what we want ultimately is to grade all 7 projects. I'm going to click on grade project now.
Okay.
And I want to see that for the snow rental project, that's number 1 of 7. I got the first task correct, but I haven't gotten any of the other tasks correct yet.
Okay.
All right. I can retry, which puts me back into project 1. Give it some seconds here to clean it up. Because we're on Zoom, this is working a little slower than normal.
Yeah. Okay.
I have to go back to task 2 and do it in task 3 and do it in task 4. And eventually I'll go to the next project after or the next task. And then after that task, it'll bring up, we'll go with the next project. Oh yeah, the next project, you get it this way. You grade the first project. And after I say continue, it'll bring up the next project. So it goes from camping supplies to camping sale. Fishing gear. And then I do that project, then do it again and again.
So if you had, so you have 7 projects, and assuming all 7 projects have 5 tasks, there would really be 35 tasks they would need to do in the first week, have that done, have that graded by GMetrix, and that would be what's expected for week 1. Is that correct?
That's partially correct.
Okay.
So far, you said is correct. And I want to say, and
okay.
Need to do this entire set of projects again, but do it in testing mode.
Okay.
For week 1. So they got, I want them to do the exam 1 in practice mode 1 or more times, trying to get an 800 out of 1,000 score when they hit grade project after completing all 7 projects. Get a score for the entire set of projects, and then open up that same test in testing mode, that same exam 1 in testing mode, and repeat the tasks and do them within the clock time allowed. So let's see, I'll continue. I'm going to just quit this project now. I'm going to save this project because maybe I want to come back to it. I'll hit save project. Do I want to exit? Yes. I tell them always to save it in the cloud. Again, that saves headaches, especially if they switch computers, use their roommate's computer or whatever. It's always in the cloud. It always works.
And that way they can't lose their work as well.
They can't lose their work, right?
Okay.
A hard drive crashes, it doesn't matter. So now what I want to do is I want to start a new test, but Office 2019, Excel, but this time I want to go into testing mode for practice exam 1.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now time matters. So I'm going to get the same or similar tasks to do across 7 projects. So look, it's all looking the same, except now I got 50 minutes. 50 minutes is exactly the same amount of time the Certiport test gives the students.
Okay.
And so you always want to shoot for 50 minutes and a score of 80% or higher, 800 out of 1,000. Because if you can do that, you have been certified. You will get certified.
Gotcha. Okay.
Certification doesn't carry a score. You're either certified or not, but the threshold is, actually the threshold is like 72% on the certification exam, but we push 80% for the practice exams so that there's a really good chance that they will be certified on the first pass of their certification sitting.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so I'll quit this one.
Okay. Good. So this is a quick summary of not only downloading the correct version, which is version 6, which they won't know the difference if they're accessing the cloud version of GMetrix, and
Right.
they want to practice and take the practice exam
Right.
for each of the projects in the 2019 version of Excel.
That's correct.
If they have any questions in the practice exam version, you have the help button.
You have, right, you do. And you have a little bit more than help button. If you'll watch this, I'm going to go back to Excel 2019. If I can't even get through the practice exam in practice, training mode, I can always go down to skill review 1 and do it in training mode, then do skill review 2 in training mode and skill review 3.
Okay.
They're very long, but every single topic is covered in those 3 skill reviews.
And those are video tutorials, or
well, let's bring up number 1 here.
Just a reminder for the students watching the video, I just got access on Wednesday to GMetrix. I actually am on the beta test 7 version, which is the wrong one, and I'm using 2016, which is the wrong version of Excel. So I'm learning as we go as well.
There you go. Right. Anyway, so it looks you're still embedded in a live version of Excel 2019, and you're given various tasks to go through, except here it's just blasting through like 50 of these.
Okay, very short task.
Yeah, it's sometimes handy to move this little window. You can like put it in the dock, put it at the top. Sometimes the top is easier to look at. You know,
Okay.
look at the instruction and go down here with your eyeballs into the Excel program, or move it back to the bottom. You often let's see, well, maybe it's not in the skill reviews, but in the practice exams, you can float that window even, especially if your screen is small, like your little Mac screen or Windows screen is very small. You might want to float it around so you can move it out of the way, you know, or put it away in the dock.
Okay, so the workflow here really, especially for those that are perhaps new to Excel, would be to do the skill reviews, then move to the practice exam.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I would say I suggest they do the practice exam in testing, not in testing mode, in practice mode. And if they just can't get anywhere, like they are so frustrated and can't find their way to good solutions, then fork off and go to the skill reviews.
Okay, so it's an opportunity to back up.
Yeah, back up and punt.
Okay. Okay, that's great. Does that is that a good summary for the students? If so,
I think so. This is a really good practice for industry, because in industry, once you get a job, there's often online training that is required by the employees, and this is a really good example of that online training. After they finish here with GMetrix and are prepared, presumably, to sit for the certification, we will later communicate how to sign up for a certification exam seat sometime between now and October.
Okay.
For that.
And those dates are on the GMetrix PDF that is attached, just so they can prepare, looking at their schedule, what are a few test dates that might work best for them.
That's right.
Okay, great.
And then while they're waiting on that test date to come about, in my class, we'll continue to look at advanced Excel skills, but we will not be using GMetrix to do that. I'll be just doing that live in front of them with Excel running in Zoom.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Professor Starr. Appreciate that. I'm going to share this video.
Sure.
Hopefully it will be helpful for them as well. Thank you.